Good day, everyone. Welcome to the Siddha webinar series on transforming habits through ancient Siddha science. Very interesting, curious topic because a lot of people have been requesting, like, we have this meditation that works, that healing that works, but we can't change our habits. A big concern, people. So I have some practical tools, and I myself have trained my mind at a very young age, fixing things that I was caught on, the habits, certain type of habits. And those days, it was much easier. When I was young, it was much easier to make those changes. But later on, I got caught up with other things. I want to break the rules and also take a chance to see how nature works. I want to test nature. Then I got caught into some bad habits also. Not extremely bad habits. Some bad habits is relative, a relative sense. I was not sleeping up to 2 o'clock, the midnight. Things like that. So when we say habits, the habits are like, what are habits? Let us see what are habits. How do you form an habit? Why do you form an habit? Why is habit part of us? You tell me. I see only Andy typing. Nobody else is. Repetition. Do we need habit at all? Do we really need habits, or do we have to come out of this habit? You tell me. Do we really need an habit? Exactly. We need good habits. So you can have only habit, good habit or bad habit. Remember that. Yeah. Right. Yes. Like Dinacharya, right? So habits are very important. But do we get so bored with the same habit? How many of you get like really boredom kind of feeling when you're repeating the same thing every day? It could be good habits. Every day you want to, every day your meditation, sometimes you feel like, oh my God, I just want to sleep. How many of you feel that way? To break that. Excellent. Yeah, habits are automatic, definitely. But sometimes you feel like you make an habit. Say, for example, habits become, every day you train yourself to meditate in the morning, but sometimes you feel like you just want to sleep. Is that okay? Yeah. Well, it is okay. It is okay to be, because we are not. See, if you look at a periodicity of all the planetary things, like if you look at a planet, it doesn't miss cycle, It's the same thing. Sun is rotating by itself, but the whole planetary solar system is rotating around. But there is a shift happening, even though it looks like periodic. There is something happening. There is a shift happening there. So once in a while, breaking the habit is okay. Not going to a bad habit is important. Breaking a habit is okay as long as you feel you follow the rules. Like, what is a rule? Who decides the rule? A rule means that you go by nature. Nature, they have understood, our ancient sages, they have gone deep into the subconscious, the conscious mind to the zero state, and they downloaded that information that is very natural to that consciousness. So they designed what is called the Sarasutra Gadigar, Sarasutra clock, biological clock. So this biological clock, it functions. It allows for this flexibility. There is things that you go out of the rule using this biological clock, but it is fixed. Remember, it is fixed. Say, for example, you should be eating the peak of your pitta in the body for digestion will be at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. That's when the body wants the maximum. Your pitta is in the peak. But the rule allows you can choose between 12 o'clock to 1 o'clock, right? To 2 o'clock, because these all are pitta time. And depending on your work and other kind of nature, your peak can go, somebody's peak can go somewhere, you'll be hungry at 1:30 because you ate a little late in the morning, or you didn't do much work. You can see the variation. So to that level, if you understand the nature, how it works, to that level, you can adjust an habit, like eating habit, like why eating habit? Why should I be a clock? Not necessarily, you don't have to be a clock. The nature is that the mind, who will feel like a clock, I have to be like a clock, perfection would be mostly a pitta type person. A pitta type person would not agree that I have to be very hard in this, I have to do this. If I am having a protocol, I just have to follow this. This is the time, I just go by the time. That's how we should function. That's called perfection. That is also an attitude. But a Vata person need to see, like, because you have too much flexibility, a Vata person can say, oh, it's okay, at 2:30, I'll eat at 3 o'clock. That's okay. See the mindset. You want to go maximize the disorder. That's the mentality, right? So look at these two things. So two kind of mindset. One who thinks that I have to eat at 1 o'clock no matter what, and for that I will fight or do anything. And I can be irritable because food is not available and shout at others, be angry and shout at the system. System is not good. They haven't given the food at 1 o'clock. It has to be there. That kind of mindset. And the other person is extremely right. Don't care. It's okay. It's 3 o'clock. It's fine. So where do you find a balance now between these two kind of, a characteristics? So you have to see, like, that's why we need the biological clock. If you understand the biological, I haven't pulled out a biological clock today, but I just give you a glimpse and then we'll go to the subject. Another day we can look at, some other day we can look at, because it's a huge topic, biological clock. Sarasutra Gadigaram. According to that, if you fix that time, zone, okay, within this time you can do this better, then you will not have a problem. Somebody, it's okay. Somebody need not have to eat at 1 o'clock. They can do 1:30. It works for them. But not go out of, you're eating something in the range where there you don't have, say, for example, you are a kapha person. A kapha person, typically, the digestive fire is very low. And a kapha person is eating a millet food in the night time, late, say after sunset, say 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, you're eating a millet roti based, or millet, any porridge or anything, it is going to be a problem. So you have to look at, like, when you wanted to change in a habit, so that person need to learn to change the habit of not eating late and choosing the type of food. So they have to choose that food that is easily digestible, or skip the food. That's okay, because your kapha, you can eat fruits earlier. So all these are possible. So that's why you have to understand these habit patterns. What is this habit? If you look at, let me pull out my slide. So habits are nature only. So like eating, sleeping, walking, working, shopping, you go any activities, daily activities, all, or if you do on a regular basis, it becomes an habit. Habit doesn't mean like somebody, it need not be periodic. Somebody likes shopping, shopping becomes an habit. Maybe he's not going on the same time, but shopping itself becomes an habit. It need not be time based. It's a frequency based. The more frequently you're doing something, that means you have a problem. Somebody just want to go and shop, every day they just go to shop and then they buy something, they want to buy extra and spend their money. So that's an habit, and they cannot come out of that habit. They feel like getting out of their house. Somebody having like very kapha habits, like sleeping a lot and cannot break through that habit. They want to sleep late. I want to wake up before the sunset. It's all sunrise. It's all good, but I can't. Or somebody is sleeping in the afternoon for long, like 1 hour or 2 hours, right? Instead of taking a short nap, 20 minutes power nap, half an hour max, they want to sleep in the afternoon. Now that become an habit. So what happens? You're not supposed to be sleeping deep in the afternoon. That'll take your lifetime. So you want to shorten that or take a nap. So how do we change this habit? So the habits, they take control. Why? They are memory loops, we call it. They all happens in the nadis system. So in the modern, they talk about neural pathway, by the dopamine effect, we call it. Talking about after the nadis things happen, you can detect something that a certain particular habit happens, what happens to our brain structure, how does it function, what kind of secretion happens. So this is a modern thing they're trying to find. If somebody is having an habit trait, how their neurological function, what happens to the brain structure, right? Particularly. So they're trying to understand, they're putting in a lot of money to understand these habits. But the habits is not limited to the brain. It is our senses can do an habit. Some people shake. How many of you shake your legs now? Anybody shake your leg as I'm talking? Are you doing something? Or anybody who is doing a multitasking now? Anybody here who is doing multitask? Tell me. Anybody doing multitasking while you are doing this? Andy, yeah, right? So why are you doing this? So because that is an habit also. So you created that habit of shaking your legs as you're doing this, or do this, these are habits. Now, I can, one of our, we learned one expert, he was talking about rotation meditation, right? Rotating the chair, etc. Well, you can apply. So this habit, I keep my finger this way is an habit. Is this habit wrong? So you see, you can do simultaneously a foot roller, multitasking, foot roller is there. I can do this. I can focus here and I can look at my window. I have windows here, windows here. So I start to watch every 20 seconds, or sometimes I move my eyes out of the screen to watch the faraway object because I'm looking at this. So how many habits did I create? Positive habits now. I can do bunch of negative habits. I'm eating and I can eat and talk also now. See, I can eat as side and I can talk. Or do something else. I can chat. Maybe I'm good at, I can chat and answer somebody else and then talk. So I can create a bunch of bad habits as multitasking versus good habits. So when you create a number of good habits in life, if you miss one habit, another habit takes over. All are good. So look at like instead of trying to remove a bad habit, add a good habit. Say your time is full, say instead of, so morning, for example, you want to fix, I want to meditate in the morning. Make this an habit. Slowly. I want to meditate. When do I meditate? So how do you slowly cheat yourself? So there's a way you can deceive. This is called self-deception habits. So there are ways you can change. So how do you self-discipline? You're cheating yourself. Say slowly, you start with 5 minutes. Say 5 minutes change in life. So suppose you're waking up at 6 o'clock in the morning, you can make it 5:55. And slowly come to 5:50, 5:45, 5:30, like this. Every week, make a 5-minute shift, right? You'll be able to get there. Instead of abrupt changes can happen when your subconscious is very strong. You can do that. You regularly, if you're doing something and you want to change an habit, you can do slowly, slow process. Suppose I want to get rid of coffee. Coffee is an habit. I want coffee at that particular time, no matter what, otherwise I cannot function. So how do you change this habit? Number one, the quantity. Take less quantity. Or the dosage, make it lighter. First you make it lighter, then less quantity, make it half. After a few days, change that into tea. Alternative, one day coffee, one day tea. Keep changing this. Then increase the tea. Okay, so I want to get rid of tea, coffee for a reason. You can change to tea. Snap it. Tea is better than coffee. Number one, right? So you change slowly, and then I make the frequency of tea more than coffee, and then just get rid of coffee. You have another habit called tea. Now within tea, I can do like a Indian chai tea, but that's not going to help because milk is a disorder in many countries now. All across the world, milk is a major disorder. It's a no-no. So I want to get rid of milk. What do? I slowly do one day full tea, one day green tea. keep changing. Then I go to green tea without milk. And then I stick with the green tea. Green tea is good for weight loss, good for you, healthy. Then you can decrease the sugar. I don't want sugar, you change to jaggery or some other thing, light sweetener. Or if you don't want sweet, just go with this. So you always have a method of changing it. You don't have to do abruptly one day. If you want to do one day changes, if something is really seriously and you have to do it, you're in a serious condition, I need to make this change, what do I do? That's where the whole thing called meditation comes. So here, you have to look at like the Siddha model of the mind. So in the Siddha model, the manam, that which is the emotional mind, we call it, like the emotional mind is whatever you see, you become tempted to certain things, temptations. And your buddhi is the intellect. It knows. The buddhi knows whether this is right, wrong. You know that. See, you know that. Your mind, you know that it is wrong. This cake that looks very delicious is having all ingredient. Your buddhi says that this says bad. This ingredient is bad. And I know this is going to cost, but right now, I want it. My temptations, they take over. Okay. This temptation take over because of my chittam. Chittam is the subconscious memory. I made a very strong memory for long. Now, it's been years now. And I try to change. The chittam doesn't allow. That tells me, okay, go for it. Go for it. It's okay. It's okay. Just today. Just now, you just do it. And then I eat. Why I eat? Because of my ego, that nothing will happen, because your ego takes over. Because you're not understanding that you are the God consciousness, you have to give the right thing inside, but that moment, that ego masks you. Illusion masks you, and it says, okay, you can do whatever, you are the person, it's your own will, and that's the degree of freedom. We are using the degree, I told you, the 3 degrees of freedom. Degree to use the freedom to use the mind, the freedom to use the physical body, and the freedom to use the consumerism. So here you're using the freedom of consumerism to do it in your own thing. So that's the freedom you've given, but you did not follow the golden rule. The golden rule, if you had followed, the ego would have come down. If you did not follow, the golden rule is the rule set by the consciousness, and that's a natural rule. So then the ego, that means when you're obeying the consciousness, your ego disappeared. The agangaram is gone. So that's why we need to have the rule. Let me do this habit, but I have a golden rule. The golden rule is this habit should not affect the self or others, in the present or in the future, physically, mentally. So if you apply this particular rule, you will be able to get over the habit. Okay, this knowledge is missing. This knowledge that to make the why we have an habit, deeper knowledge is missing. So here, the things that you want to do is that you have to have the knowledge. Second, you have to have the willpower. In order, you need to get the willpower. Even though have the knowledge, you won't be able to change. But you need the knowledge to make the change. And then you have to increase the willpower inside you. What do we do to increase the willpower? And then you use the method. There are some tools. Use Vasi Yoga and Pranayama. So this Vasi Yoga Pranayama Vasi is the breath. I've given this Vasi Yoga Pranam, even though I don't follow it because some people use Vasi for different things, but what I'm doing is basically Vasi Yoga, the pranayamam, clearing the entire system. That's why early morning I request. So if you want to learn this, you can attend tomorrow at Eastern Time, 5:30 and 4 o'clock, 4 p.m. IST. Okay, 4 p.m. IST. You come, we'll do the Vasi Yoga Pranayama. Okay. So we need to clear. So when you clear the pathways, okay, and when you're clearing the pathways, you can clean up mind. Now, suppose your agara is the food, and the type of herbs, like you are using super herbs and other things, you can change your mind. Like, for example, there are some super herbs. So you're eating, say, generally you're eating some junk food. You're eating some, every time you're using industrial food, buying from a restaurant, and you just want to fill your stomach. With this kind of habits, you will not be able to change your mind. Forget anything. You will not be able to have a transformation because the food that you eat is the one that converts into mind, and you will have all the industrial karmic imprints that will not allow you to get over your ego. So food is very important, right? So you slowly shift. So that's why in the beginning, make a good habit of having some super herbs. I told you the Vash Yoga Pranayama, you can come and attend tomorrow if you have time at 4 p.m. India time, 5:30 a.m. Right? So you can attend this. But for the Agara, I would suggest to use some herbs, super herbs. I'll give you like 5 super herbs. Use these 5 super herbs. When you're using these 5 super herbs, you can slowly, when you eat and you can think, you will be able to manifest this. Example of a super herb would be karisale. Okay, karisale. Karisale is a super herb, and I'm putting this here, karisale. Then you can use vallare. These are super herbs, very easily found. Super herb karisale even grows here, and vallare also grows in hot places. I do have vallare here, but you can keep inside the house. Vallare. Then Puliare grows most places. Puliare, I have shown it to all my retreat students who came here. And we have, if you want, I will show in the retreat that's happening in 29th and 30th at Virginia area. If you're there, please come on November 29th, 30th. We'll show you like practically this also. Ashwagandha is also ASH. Ashwagandha is a super herb. These are some Siddha herbs. Okay. Ashwagandha is also Ayurvedic. You can use that. Musumuske. Yes. Yes, definitely. So these are herbs that our Siddhas have given. So if you use that and put a thought along with, when you're using the super herb, you want to put a thought along the super herb. I'll tell you how to do with the Varma stimulation and then make an auto suggestion, right? So with the mantra called Arupparam Jyoti mantra. So when we do this, some changes happen in the body. So let us go to that practical step. How do we change an habit? This is one tool you can use to make an auto-suggestion of the habit. Okay. But as I told you, when you're deeply meditating, when you're going into low frequency, that is where changes can happen. So let us, this frequency is like normally I shown to people who are see normal frequency. Like if you have, if you put the frequency like a square wave, it goes like this equally. This is a thought and there's no thought. There's always a gap. Thought, no thought, no thought, right? So now, if you transformative low frequency wave is there is a thought and then there is a rest and there is a thought. So here, if you're giving double rest, triple rest, 4 times rest, you make an habit, and the pranayama, I will tell you, you can create that pattern that you're going to see tomorrow if you attend my class, where you can increase this pattern, the zero, lengthier zero, and then you can do the auto suggestion. When you're doing an auto suggestion at that lengthier zero, that means a peak delta, quickly bringing that thought when there is no thought. So first you do some breathing exercises, and then you stop your thought, and then you'll have the frequency, low frequency, and the increased zero wave, right? No wave state. And that time you create a delta. That's a very sharp, intense thought that I want to really change this habit. Then when you are normal frequency, high frequency, when the mind is like that, subconscious will come and help you. Normally, if you want to make this change like Western way of teaching and telling, okay, you change this habit, you may not be successful just through education, like normal frequency education. Hey, do everything, you follow these steps. But how do I follow the steps? It's difficult for me. Following step is difficult, right? The steps are there, but to follow it, what kind of habits are it? That's why low frequency mind. You bring your mind at low frequency, make the changes there. So after meditation would be the right time to making a change in the habit. Any meditation or anything that you do, you're religiously or through some practice, some breathing practice, and then add the tools that I am giving. So right now, let us look into this. So there is one karma point, right? So this one and the top one, these two marma points, see from this one, you go here, okay. So these are aligned marma points, and you can change frequency very quickly if you trigger 1, 2, 3 marma points in a certain way. If you trigger these marma points, Kabali marmam, Uchi varmam, Mridani marmam. So these marma points, they all are 4 finger distance, but in a sequence. There is a pattern, and you can, right? So, but we are starting any marma points on top, you start with the Agna chakra here. This is called the Sitsabai. So here is the flame. And this flame, you can feel the flame, but every time you start here only. Then you can go here, and the topmost. So we stimulate this marma, and then with the recitation of the Arpan Jyoti, the mantra, this mantra, Arpan Jyoti consists of all the vowels. And this mantra, Arupperum Jyoti means There is no bigger light than this. If you add million suns, it's not a brightness that you see with the eyes. It is a hidden brightness in the black hole. If you break open a black hole, the light is hidden there in that black hole. Vettavadi. In that Vettavadi light, you cannot see in Vettavadi, there is, Vettavadi means like the pure space, absolute conscious black hole, but there is no light escaping from that black. It's all tapped in. The people who saw, sage scientists like Vadalar, goes deep in and opens up that black hole and blasts up. He sees the light. So that light, enormous light, we call it as the Arutperum Jodi. That light is not comparable with any light, the fire that you see, the sun that you see. It's not. It is only through experience. It's only experienceable, not seeable, and not, you cannot say this. This is how it looks like. But it is light. Definitely it is light. So here, in our body, this light, the beginning is this. So many of you have experienced the flame here, right? Andy, experience, right? Yes. Now, this experience, with this experience, you can create, see the Vasi, I will tell you how to do the Vasi when you come tomorrow. I'll tell you. It clears the entire path. And then if you start to feel, when the Vasi is clear, you start to feel here and do a pattern, three-way pattern meditation. And these three parts, trigger all these 3 points continuously. And you do the mantra. I'll tell you the mantra. So we'll do that. And then the frequency, what happens in this Sarpuranjodi mantra? So you're creating a gap. And then when you tell that mantra, you'll get a peak, the delta there. Is an empty space. This mantra will create a peak, delta opposite. So instead of going up, it'll create downward delta, a negative delta, where it could get deep into that zero. That moment. It's only that 1 second, and you change the habit. Whatever you want, because in your subconscious, you know what habits you want to. You prioritize that habit, and then you give it that moment. Okay, I'm going to give up this sugar today. Every day I'm eating this sugar. I want to give this up. I have this habit of sleeping. Some people have all other bad habits. One person says, I have habit with my, my regular, I have a habit on sex. I cannot come out of it. Sex is an habit. See, like how we have sleep, how we have other things, work and thoughts. Sex is also an habit only. Human do a lot of mistakes. Just they are interested in this because it tells again and again. Because there is a lack of understanding. What is sex? Why do we need that sexual energy? What it will do? How to maintain this sexual energy? So they get into that habitual pattern. And they cannot come out of it because it is giving them pleasure. Same thing like how, so the pleasure is manifold times like food. The sexual pleasure is so huge because you're draining out so much energy, right? So for that, what do you do? Just 1 day is not enough. For those people, I tell you, come to my deep silence retreats. Where once in a year I do 3 days. Retreats also is good, but deep silence retreat where you change habit 2-3 days. We used to do 5 day, 1 week, very deep silence and create the change. So for very chronic kind of problems, you go into like very deep state, meditate for days without talking, and then you change, you erase. It's called dissolution method, dissolving method. So you cannot change in normal. See, normally thinking and your thinking, it will not work. Normally, you cannot change an habit. Only through deeper meditation, stopping your mind completely. The mind has gone to very deep state, right? No waves at all. And there you make the changes, all the changes. It will come for 1 year. If you're doing for 4 or 5 days in a year, 4 or 5 days you spend for 4 or 5 days. 1 year that energy will retain. And again you have to do. So every day, spend 10 minutes. Every day, how much time? 10 minutes to change your habit. Only 10 minutes needed. Before going to the bed, you erase everything. So I'll give you the method. So write down all the 10 habits that you have, bad habits, or 10 good habits you want to do, whatever works. 10 good habits or 10 bad habits you want to get rid of. When you're getting rid of 10 bad habits, what do you have? If you're getting rid of 10 bad habits, what will you do? What will you do the rest of the time? Say I got rid of some other bad habits, like I woke up in the morning. Okay, I got rid of a bad habit. I woke up in the morning. Now what do I do? Exactly, Vidya says, say, replace with, that's why good habits, focusing on good habit is important than focusing on the bad habits that you have. When you fill your life with good habits, bad habits will go away completely. This is the secret. So better than focusing on the 10 bad habits, focus on 10 good habits that you want to do. Write down. It's morning. Okay, I should not be angry when my kids are little, shouting and other things. I should not be angry. How do I handle? It's an habit. Every day you're shouting, the kids are doing something, you're creating a negative energy, right? Or, I get angry when I'm driving. People get angry when they're driving because people are going very slow, right? So simply they will get angry. It's an habit. They made an habit that they have to sit and then they're angry, they're honking and doing other things. So how do I slow my process? Let me make a positive thought. So let me see how I can create time. How do I meditate and drive? So think about, instead of getting angry, removing the angry, how can I meditate and consciously drive? Make a driving a super experience meditation. So I used to drive from Boston to my house. I was a scientist there, so I used to travel back and forth. My wife was settled here. So we bought a house here. So I had to travel from there back and forth. So every week I come. So I come with amazing energy. People get drained out, when they drive the car. So I use the whole car journey as a journey to create energy, enormous energy. So I feel like I'm driving again, except that the carbon emissions and other things, that's another story. But we can't avoid. That's why I converted into positive instead of worrying the negative aspect. I converted that experience into a positive experience where I understood how to get enormous energy as I'm driving. So once you expand your mind, you start to meditate, see every aspect as meditative. Instead of creating like niche areas where you meditate and then come to normal frequency, see how everything in your life becomes a meditation. Your cooking becomes a meditation. Your talking to other people becomes a meditation. Don't forget meditation when you are doing anything. You want to become a critic, you become a meditator and critic. When you meditate, you will have only positive vibrations created on others. You'll never get a negative waves from somebody. If you hurt somebody in some way, the word, habit or deed, then you have created a negative habit. You should be getting blessing. See, the output of this is if you got blessing from somebody or not by your actions. You could be a good promoter of even conscious siddhas and veganism, all those things, but you can be somebody who will be cursing you. So the way you communicate is very important. You should try to get blessings in each communication. So try to do the changes, in your life by getting this kind of blessings. Change everything into blessing. So that is the positive. So 10 minutes you take this and see morning till evening what all things that I did, right? And then replace with positive. So first take one habit. Right now you write down, take one habit. Let's take one habit, okay? So you take it in your mind, you write down in your mind now. If you don't have a pen, it's okay. You write down in your mind, okay, I want to change this particular habit today. Okay, now how do we do this? So let us now meditate, and then we're going to the sucked into that frequency. When I tell you that Arpan Jyoti mantra, you just shut down your mind. Shut down your mind. And then when I say another mantra called Taniperum Karani, you have to bring that habit, positive habit. And then you will manifest. Okay. So Arutperum Jyoti, Taniperum Karani. So I will do, and you can type down here, Arpan Jyoti and Taniperum Karani. Taniperum Karani. Okay. So now let us, you don't have to worry about the mantra. Later on, you can keep on doing this, then you'll get the mantra. Right now, you can sit down very normally. And relax. Relax yourself first. It's only a very short meditation. Focus in between the eyebrows very gently as you breathe in and breathe out. Feel the vibration. Most of your meditators, those who are new, you can join our meditation and then get used to this type of meditations. Focusing in between the eyebrows. The space around us be purified by the divine descends upon us and purifies body and soul. Salutations to your mother, father, and all our great sages. So keep your index finger close to the third eye and induce your third eye. So this is called the Siddha. You can feel the vibration there. 15 seconds, stimulate, and then focus on that vibration. When you do this, it's better to remove your glasses and because glass point squeeze the marma points, your glass frame. So normally you remove for those new people who joined. Now, same way, touch point number 4 finger from here, distance. Kavali Munmudichi Varmam, Kavali Varmam. So here you stimulate for 15 seconds. Very gentle. Fifteen seconds stimulate and then bring your hands back and focus on that point. The frontal points that we are stimulating all are for the current Agamya Marma. For past, very deeper Marma, you have to stimulate back point that we not doing right now, but we are only focusing on the current habits. What you done through Agamya, your own things that you did, not through your parents or ancestors. Now another 4 fingers from this point number 2, another 4 finger. Gentle touch. Only on the third eye you will do feather touch, like very gentle. This is gentle touch. You should feel your finger is there. You don't need great pressure there. Just keep your finger rested. Bring your hands back and focus. And stimulate another 4 finger, topmost point of head is a point, very important point. It opens up the connection to the universe. Turiyamum kadanda sugapuranam tarum ariyach trambala tarperum jodi. This is the point where it opens up to the universe. Turiyam. Its peak. It creates a sharp delta point to the universe, empty space, where you can reach. The delta point is like a very, if you look at like a small little spike enters into that empty space, dips into that Arapanjali state. So when I say stay in this state, bring your hands down, focus on that part. When I say Arapanjali, create a line from there to above head. You go straight line beyond the universe, to empty space, where there is nothing. That when I say Arpanjodi, then you Taniparam Karana, when I say Taniparam Karana, you create that thought, right? And then again, when I say Arpanjodi, you come back to the top of it. Okay. So close your eyes, be there. So within that, when I say Taniparam Karana, you have to create that new thought that second very quickly. When I say Arpanjodi, you should be creating the line, the delta line that goes to the empty space, straight above it, the linear line. Arupperum Jodi. Taniperum Karunai. Arupperum Jodi. Come back. Arupperum Jodi. First to create the line. Taniperum Karunai. You change the habit. Bring that new habit. And again, Arupperum Jodi, come back to your head. So we'll do one more time, through two more times. Arupperum Jodi. Empty space. Taniperum Karunai. Creating the thought. Arupperum Jodi, come back. Arupperum Jodi. Taniperum Karunai. Arupperum Jodi. Now focus on the head and spread this new habit into all the body cells everywhere. This new habit, I'm going to make this manifest. This mantra is powerful and it will manifest. This new habit will manifest. You become a new person after this. Spread the energy all over the body now. With the grace of the divine, may you enjoy good health, long life, prosperity, wisdom, and peace. May all your family members enjoy good health, long life, prosperity, wisdom, and peace. May the whole world be blessed by divine. Tirchitrambalam Shanti. Rub your hands to wipe on. Rub your face upward. Yeah. Okay. So we are on time. Any questions? I'll take for a couple minutes. Otherwise, you join. A little deeper meditation if you want to join how to change the Vasya Yoga Pranayama. Tomorrow you can join for the Vasya Yoga Pranayama. So you can wait for our IT team. If you're not in our groups, you join your groups, WhatsApp group. There's a WhatsApp group message sent by Vinisha in this chat. You can join that. And you can, if you're in Florida area, on 8th and 9th, we have a workshop. And the workshop, you can go to our website. You can see in our website all the details about our workshop, siddhavedamultiversity.org. Here's the website here. You see that workshop is given here in the chapter. So if I click that, you can see that. I'll share with you. So 7th, 8th, 9th, you have in Tampa. So we have 3, like if you want to do this Siddha diagnosis, pain management, and vision management workshop goes here. So if you want to register, register this part. There is a lot of this. There's a conference going on in a Ayurveda conference there in the University of South Florida. So that's where this is happening. Okay. So the first thing will happen in a hotel nearby. It's on Friday evening, and the rest two will be on the university campus. So please join and get benefited from this. Okay. The other one is the link is given for the retreat. So retreat for 29th and 30th. So 29th and 30th, we are going to have a retreat here. So this is the retreat on 29th and 30th. And you can become a member instead of paying the whole thing. If you become a member, you can attend 4 to 5 different retreats all over US. We're planning to do a number of, within Virginia, we're doing things. So you can pay as less than $99 per month, and then you can join our retreats. So that will be very useful for you. And there are other benefits as well. Look into the website, membership. So here's a membership link you want to join. So any questions? Otherwise, we can conclude. Oh, wonderful. Okay. Jill wants to join in 2026. Okay, you're coming back in from UK. Okay. Yes, please, Jill, you can. I will allow you to unmute yourself. Mute, allow. So you can now. Yeah, if you have any questions, yes, please.
Namaste, Dr. Shan. Thank you. I have a question. We have someone who I sent to you, a diabetic patient. She came to your workshop, I believe, last month in upstate New York. Her entire left leg, the bottom of it, is infected.
Yes.
And is there a mantra or something, or maybe some energy that you could send to her? I think you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
so I'm really, really worried that it's going to lead to either amputation of the leg partially, or that it could lead to sepsis if not taken care of, and then this person passing away. So, it's off the topic, but I would like this person to benefit from, Siddha medicine and hopefully heal and have a beautiful, productive life. So what do you suggest?
So when we have a problem like that, we need to first see the problem here is like wearing shoes is a big problem here, right? So shoes are needed. Shoes are good when you want to straighten. She has problems where her leg is bent, like her feet, So we need to straighten that. That's one part. That requires a different kind of thing. But this kind of thing needs when you open up. When you closed, it will not heal. So for some time, she should not wear the shoes. So this get healed. And later on, when this is healed, you can tie and wrap up with other things, I suggested her to, do that. So I'll work with her. I have a plan for that. Okay, so
Yeah,
and she
can you
need
reach
to.
out to her?
Yeah, sorry.
Because can you please reach out to her?
Yeah, I'm reaching out.
I
Yes,
think it's critical.
yeah.
I
I
saw
told her
the
to call
wound.
today noon
Yes,
afternoon. She will
thank
be.
you.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you, Dr. Shan. Thank you very
Okay,
much.
thank you, no problem. Yes, any other questions? Any questions, suggestions? Do you think this was useful? Yes. Yeah, Andy, what was your question? So sounds like what you're doing is similar to a foreign. Okay. Yeah. Yes, this is it. This is breaking the cycle of rebirth. Okay. Okay. Sam says this was an excellent session. Infinite gratitude, Rani Pandian. Thank you. Thank you.
Can you give a nutshell at least?
Yeah, actually, I given you 3 marma points here, and we are going, we're going from this marma point, we're going to straight to the
Oh,
consciousness. Within a mantra, we use that mantra and then come back and change the habit. Particular habit, suppose you have a habit that is annoying others, we need to stop that habit. Then instead of communicating them with hurtful communication, you have to give good, how to respond it in a nicer way to get their blessings. So when you do that, because see, many things happen, even we are trying to change or going meditating and change, it cannot happen without the blessings. So we try to get the blessings from different people around us. The more the people they think good about you, the more greater the chance of you getting healed. As I told you, those patterns, the nadis that are spreading around us, they are very important. The more the greener we have, the less damages and less karmic effects we can have. So it's very important. Okay.
thank you very much.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Any other? Yes. And yes. Last question. Okay.
Dr. Sean, you were asking me about what was I drinking in order for me to meditate. That fluid
Superfood.
that I actually drink, I call it Taga fluid. It's
Ah.
actually Amaroli.
Yeah.
It's
That is
my own
good.
urine. My
Yeah.
own urine mixed with Triphala, Trikatu, Amalaki, and Guruji. That's what I do.
Okay. You're doing a self-urine therapy. So,
Yep.
okay. So that is fine. But see, I mean, not during the time. Maybe you can drink a little earlier or later.
Always,
That's
I
okay.
need to go to the bathroom, so I
Absolutely.
have to pee. I have to drink whatever I can.
Okay. That's fine. That's all are okay. Good habits are fine. As long as you have a good habit created, absolutely fine. Okay. Yeah, so many people are now into all this urine therapy. This was done in our ancient days, and they are finding it very successful. It's up to them. I tell people that I'm giving a preliminary form of thing that if you change the biomagnetic, because urine, all these things that we have, picks our biomagnetism and comes out. So yeah, I'm going to the core of biomagnetism in our body, the causal body, make the changes there, then everything is easy. So going at the core and changing there. So even though these all will have benefit, there was one person who does urine therapy asked me a question, how is this your system better than the urine therapy? I'm finding it so I told, see, your urine therapy works, but urine comes from our body. Remember, it picks our biomagnetic energy and comes out. That's why it has an effect. The urine has an effect because it takes our biomagnetic energy. And I am doing that test and urine diagnosis using urine. But basically, what urine is, what the changes you can do is changing the biomagnetic inside you, and you make the code changes there. Then that's direct. That's direct. So you don't need urine in that time. You're already changing your biomagnetic energy inside you and changing the code. That's the code. It's like 0 1 writing. You're talking on Windows versus Unix or other basic systems. In a Unix, code writers, they don't like Windows. You're looking at Windows, you'll have virus and other things. But basic code, when you're writing, you can change everything. And I'm talking about binary, very binary, 0 1. It's not even just basic code, it's 0 1. Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, that's absolutely fine. But I'm not against urine therapy. By doing all nonsense things in the universe, urine therapy is amazing. So because you're people who do all kind of nonsense things, whatever you do, good habits are welcome, And I'm just telling that as you go, depending on how much deeper you go, you can do a lot of things without external, So that's where I'm coming. Okay. All right. Thank you all. So let's, if you're available tomorrow, you can see at 5:30 Eastern Time, 4 p.m. IST. Thank you.